Alright. Okay, y'all. Dark Knight stuff or the Machinist stuff? Or nobody picky? I'm not touching the summer stuff. Can't make me. Okay, let's go. No preference? Okay. Bum bum bum. We are going to the steel manufacturing. I might just do dancer all the way up to 90, I guess. But need to finish this stuff first. Ah, there you are, Ishnai. 'Twould seem there is not only 'tis not only Joy, but her father as well, who's vanished from the city. Sox is out asking questions, but there are a few answers to be had. Rather than sit here on our hands while we wait for revelation, however, I would prefer we begin preparations for engagement alongside Haustrom Zamal. Time to shit you, pretty much. The Drowsebell has been struggling to restore the township of Falcon's Nest, an enterprise that has been interrupted time and time again by marauding Dravians. The signs, a steady trickle of scouting reports, suggest the dragons are massing for a significant assault on the settlement. Its fortifications are not yet complete, and 'twould be the aim of the Allied operation to defend these half-finished structures from the ravages of the Horde. I expect House Halinair shall be positioned on the front lines of this conflict. Should we fight well, the dragons will be routed, and should we fight poorly, our reputation will suffer. From Lord... What, Lord Bastard? Is that what I went with for him as well? His perspective either is a victory. For the future of machinery, however, we cannot afford to cannot afford to fail. Thus, I have focused my energies towards designing an attachment that will improve our chances of success. Now, the problem, which I'm hoping you might help me solve, is the acquisition of suitable components. The swiftest way to create new technology is by repurposing the old. To that end, I would have you infiltrate Castrum Centri and salvage a goodly number of war machina parts. The Gallians there may have a dim view of your efforts to liberate their supplies. I see no problems with this. You say it like there's a problem. There isn't. Yeah, liberate. About to liberate them from their mortal coil at this rate. Oh. Done. Murder one! No. Right, over here. Absolutely. Don't know why they're even trying to stay in the area. I mean, they're probably only here because of, you know, we need them for hunting log or something like that, but I mean, really, story-wise, they should not be here. Even in this part of the game. We're not even talking about the fact that, you know, the Endwalker stuff. Just at the end of Realm Reborn, they lost this position. And retreated, if I remember correctly, because Gaius is missing and presumed dead, but he is not dead. You know, this is anime. Which, even if you see the person die in front of you, they're not dead yet. Except when they are. I need to come up with a better name for the jerk that's in this. Probably did, but I've completely forgotten because it's been a while. With Joy gone from the workshop, I have no one else whom I can entrust such duties. It is no simple task, I know, but I must have those components. Splendid! These parts will do so much to speed the construction of my invention. Now, if only Joy would return to us. Despite Célissoi's most earnest efforts, however, it would appear that his contacts in the Broom have elected to spurn his inquiries. I sense an unseen hand and sizable purse behind the sudden rash resistance. Mayhaps if you were to ask after the old hunter's disappearance instead, then the Broom inhabitants would be more forthcoming. Oh, the creaky old hunter? I heard he got himself paying work and saw his little girl get married on the same day. The husband said to be the brother of some famous carpenter and that don't need a job to get by. Who? You mean the one whose daughter called herself a husband in Falcon's Nest? He's probably there with her, ain't he? Befuddled commoner. Can't save you there. I am always befuddled. That old hunter fellow thought he left to start a new job someplace else. So he was always cursing about how his old wounds kept him from practicing his trade. But I suppose he found something new. Célissois. I never had heard a fellow commoner refuse to talk to me before. Is this what it feels like to be an outsider? Yes! Were you able to wring any information from the Broom? Ah, a new job for him, and a new husband for his father in the Falcon's Nest. They've been taking a good number of laborers and such to help with the town's restoration. Even a half-crippled old hunter might find some kind of work for himself there. Yes, my prospectometer points narrowly west. We shall head to the Falcon's Nest and seek out Joy and her father. She must be here somewhere. Any sign of her? Wait. Oh, would you look at that? His lordship. What is she doing? I had a southern accent for her, didn't I? Joy, please. I only asked that you listen for a moment. Will you and your husband not consider working for me at the manufactory? I can't do that, my lordship. I can't be a machinist no more. It's best for everyone if I leave that life behind. What do you mean, best for everyone? Is that what is best for you? All I want for me is a simple life. One that doesn't cause problems for those who showed me such kindness. I'm glad we could talk this one last time, my lordship. I'll be praying that you and the Machinist get the recognition you deserve. I always thought Joy was happiest when she had the stock of her flintlock in hand. Will she now sacrifice that happiness for the satisfaction of others? Or is it she never truly wished to be a machinist and merely suffered the training at my insistence? By arming the commoners, 'twas my intent to place them in equal footing with the nobles who seek to rule them. But caught in the throes of self-righteous ambition, mayhap I have treated them no better. Seems his lordship is having himself a crisis of faith. Might be as you can lend him some sympathetic ear, eh? I'll join you back to the workshop in a bit. There's something I want to look into first. Is he still here or did he go home? He went home. I am everybody's therapist, but nobody is mine. What do you think it feels for me, the hero of everybody who can't save everybody? At least those that matter to me. I have ran my prospectometer through all possible permutations, but the result always the same. We focus on preparations for the Allied operation. So we just give up on bringing Joy back? Should we fail, Halstrasmal, then the reputation we built at the tourney will crumble to dust. We will have to begin again, brick by painful brick. A moment, milord. I lingered behind in Falcon's Nest to see if I could find Joy's father, but he was nowhere to be found. I got a feeling something ain't right here. If Joy herself has no wish to be a machinist, then what more can I do? 'Tis not my place to meddle in her affairs. I see how it is. I thought you different than the other nobles, but you're all the same, only interested in helping the commoners as long as they're doing your bidding. I've had enough taking orders. It's time I went me own way. My grand plans for the future of Machinistry, have they all been in vain? We have come so far. We have, you and I. Speaking of which, I had promised those components you brought me to build a new weapon. If not else, we can certainly make advances in the field of machinery. Such a tangible measure of progress cannot be ignored. Yes, my perspectometer is so overloaded with peripheral problems, I failed to see the practical evidence of our success. The path is steep and our steps are small, but that doesn't mean the destination is beyond us. I will ask much of you in the coming days, Ishnai. Note too that you are the most well-equipped machinist in the short history of machinery. I think he's missing the forest through the trees. I hope your firearm is loaded and ready, Ishnai. We've received our deployment orders from House Jamal. Several groups of Dravanians are converged on Falcon's Nest, and we've been tasked with eliminating the fiends gathered upon the Black Iron Bridge. Known as, knowing, Asshat, and I unfortunately do, I won't put it past him to lure more foes into the narrow structure simply to overtax us. And we must needs overcome this assault without Joys or Ciarfox, for that matter. He has yet to term since you stormed out the door. I will assemble our remaining machinists and head towards Falcon's Nest. Pray join us when you're as soon as you may. Okay, so it's another overheat one. Got it. Ishnai, I fear Swaz departure has inspired his fellow to disregard my commands. You are the only machinist to answer my call to arms. In response to this insubordination, I've been forced to deploy what few soldiers we can spare, myself included. They even begged me to come along. Oh, wait, wrong accent. They even begged... It's a Scottish one. They even begged me to come along. And I've said at for fighting bloody dragons ain't in me contract, so be paying me handsomely for the trouble. Is this House Halinair's entire company? You seem to be short a number of machinists. We are keeping our colleagues in reserve. For an operation such as this, we need field only Ishnai, the fondest machinist in our ranks. Your confidence is truly inspiring. Thankfully, however, there are few enemies threatening the Black Iron Bridge, even with their sparse number. I dare say you shan't be sorely pressed. Suaswa, have you come to fight with us? It all depends on you, me lord. We found Joy's father. He's been held prisoner in the broom. Held prisoner? You suspect this is some matter of coercion? Aye, we reckon that they've been targeting Joy for a while. Her dad vanished right after he landed a job here in Falcon's Nest. Then Joy suddenly up and wedded the brother of a carpenter working in the fortifications. As Jasmel's behind this, or I'm a Chocobo's third cousin. Asshat, you cad. It's Asshat now, I guess. It's not too late. If we break her dad out, then Joy can abandon her farce of a marriage and come back to the manufactory where she belongs. But the bridge, the Dravanians. Go. Joy's a machinist. As the manufactory chief, it's your duty to attend to your employees. My knights and I shall march for House Halinair. Bah, you needn't worry. They've got yours truly fighting beside them. Go and help the boss, Ishnai. If Ishnai goes, then I'll stay behind. We promised machinists to the Jamals, and we don't want to break our word now, do we? Just one shall be enough. Thank you. Thank you all. We shall include this matter with the greatest of haste, and return as swiftly as we may. You're one of our manufacturer's machinists in the brooms. He'll show you where his dad's being held. Okay. We go back and forth. Yes, we do. We go back and forth through Foundation. Yes, we do. A joyful reunion. Ha! Quest name. Ha! Puns abound! I really shouldn't make jokes about puns. I use them all the time. Because I'm punny. Silaswa said you'd come. The chiefs will draw too much attention, so we asked them to wait at the workshop till we're ready to act. Joy's dad is right there behind the door over there. We just need to convince the bloke standing guard to open it. He doesn't exactly look the stoic type, though, so a select shot ought to have him pissing his trousers. We need watch. Step out or bash your brains in. Ow! What did the... You shot me! Because I ain't done nothing wrong. Some fancy flop punch dropped a pouch in front of me lap and told me to guard the door. I swear, that's all I know. How much did he pay you? Not enough to die over, me lord! Please don't shoot me again. 'Twas not my intent to threaten you. We merely wish you to release the man behind yonder door. Should you fear for the vengeance of your employer, you are welcome to take shelter at the manufactory. In fact, why not be a Machinist? Then you need not take another such a savory job again. You're offering me work, lord? Aye, I'll let that bloke out for that. Hills, I'll carry him across the city and then back for a steady wage. Lord Stefan, me humble thanks. You've been locked away for quite some time, poor man. Do you know who did this to you or why? I ain't not the faintest idea, me lord. I was hired by hostages of Val to work on their woes. When I went to join the crew headed out for Falcon's Nest, some bastard, begging your pardon, me lord, slipped a sack over me head and carried me away. I just a broken old hunter. I ain't got money for ransom, nor does me family. Got to thinking they maybe nabbed the wrong bloke. Then you weren't aware that Joy was wed, or that she resigned from her position at both the manor and the manufactory. She got married and quit? Why'd she do a foolish thing like that? I've never seen her happier than when she's slinging one of them flintlocks. Ah, so that's why they took me. They were blackmailing me, little Joy. There ain't no way she'd just up and marry some bloke that wouldn't let her stay at the workshop. Then she was a Machinist by her own choice. I am so glad to hear that. 'Tis time we liberate your daughter from her false union. When she sees you are safe, I do not envy the man who pretends at the role of her husband. I want to say! I knew you would set things right, me lord. You take care of Joy, I'll let the rest of the Machinists that they can come back to work. Alright then, lad, you come with me. We'll speak with Joy and unravel this nonsense. You, however, must take haste to the Black Iron Bridge. I'll lend you your barrel to the battle. I seem to be going back and forth suddenly. A free teleport for a poor sword like me? Please, sir. Please, sir, I want some more. Please. Flight. I'm not here for that. Guns! I have guns! Let's go! Look at me go! Look at me go! About time you got back. You found Joey's dad, then. Good! Now it's up to the boss to bring her back. The fighting has been fierce. Master Ross has injured while he gallantly intercepted a swipe meant to remove my head. Bah, that's a noble way of saying I tripped over its bloody tail and stumbled into the blow. Eddie Road, you have to take me base in the front lines and do it soon. For these Dante knights get their asses handed to them. Arses handed to them. Duty complete. You're missing a few mates, but you took care of our business. Not that I expected less from one of me star students. A star indeed. Your arrival was a gift from the heavens. I know, right? Now, kneel before me, your god. We have a friend. Load, aim, fire! I don't know who did that. I decided to add an accent to it just in case. How could I not hear that? How'd you like that, you scaly beast? Great scaly bastard. Wrong accent. Oh well, fuck it. I'm going with that accent now. She's so goddamn hot! I'm afraid I've caused a great deal of trouble for you all. Thanks for rescuing me, Dad. It was no trouble at all for such a fine employee. As you are now wed, I understand that you may not wish to resume your duties at the manor. But have you considered my son's offer that you and your husband come to work at the manufactory? Me husband and me made agreement to part ways. If it pleases me, Lord, I'd like to start working again at the workshop and the men are both. Me husband. Joy, my dear, you're most welcome, of course. Neither the manor nor the manufactory have been the same without you. Me lordship, I don't know how to... I'm going anywhere and everywhere with their accents. That is to say, I need to go back to the dwarf place and do it to do the tribe quest there. I'm glad to be back. I can't switch between accents that much. I see that even for the much diminished House of Haudelaire, a handful of dragons pose no threat. I shall find a more significant challenge for your next outing. 'Twould seem that you still do not understand that a knight is the master of the battlefield. That was far more than a handful of dragons, asshat. Do you think us blind? We know who was working against the manufactory. We know whose underhanded villainy forced Joy into wedlock. What are you implying? You speak as if I recall the names of your low-born servants, or even hold the slightest interest in their common unions. Now, if you'll excuse me, my lords. Bum, 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 dun, dun. Oh, I can't talk to the others. Damn it, that man and his arrogance! My prospector meteor and I shall return to remain vigilant, that we may defeat Asshat's trickery at every turn. The accolades for this triumph, however, must go to you, Ishnai. The bridge is clear, and joy is returned to us. I was afraid I'd seen the last of the manufactory. Thank you again for the warm welcome home. I never felt as whole as I did after joining the ranks of the Machinist. I had to tell him his lordship I was quitting. It felt like I was leaving a part of me soul behind. That's when I realized, to me, being a Machinist is more than just firing a weapon. It's a way of connecting to another side of myself. Well, now that you're connected again, I don't know why I'm jumping between so many different accents. You can go back to working on your shooting and your swearing. And there's also a small matter of our delayed tourney celebration. If it pleases me, lordship, I'd like to do some training instead. I feel the need to shoot off 10 score bullets or so. Of course, we all celebrate in our own way. Fire at will, my dear. I, for one, am eager for a stiff drink back at the manufactory. Oh, next week, on Thursday, it probably will be both a bit of, Genshin and, Coral Island. So when I finish whatever I'm doing with the Genshin thing, I'll switch over to Coral Island. To do the Night Clan stuff. Night Winds Clan stuff. But let me do this before I forget. Just actually go up to the dwarf thing in Tomura. Since it's a weekly thing. Oh, shall I do it as... Go back to being Red Mage. Blurry, my pretties! All the way down here. How to catch an automaton. The decisive dwarf regards you with the steely determination of someone who's about to ask a favor. Who'd have thought? Ah, yes, you again. Thanks to you, we now got a lot of good lot of autonomous helping us out, but we could still do with more. If you're not too busy, do you think you could retrieve another Ironbeard for us? Rest assured, you won't be doing it alone this time. I'm going to retrieve one too. When we're done, let's meet back here. Happy deactivating. I'm gonna do myself a favor on that. Okay. Mostly designed so it wouldn't kill it before I could, you know, sack it. Whew, it was rough going, even with your example, but I managed to shut down an automaton at the end. How about you? No problem. Great, with these 2 additional units in our duty, I'll be able to spend more time I'll be able to spend more time doing things that automata can't do for the rebuilding. Yes, that's it. Thanks to you, I found something I could do for Kormra. But as helpful as you are, it won't be due to rely on you forever. No, from this point on, I want to make sure I can get on by with my own when the time comes. There might be some others who could use a hand, though, so you ought to talk to the chief. Thanks again, and be seeing you about. Am I almost finished with the weeklies for this? No? Huh. Lala, we don't know. Ishnai? The jump between accents. We've started Kormara to way it was. Just goes for grog. Lots of it. We're gonna do something about the mayor or whoever, chief, acting strange. Ah, but before I jinx myself steely, I should put this in surer hands. It's another recording device for Knog. After all this time, we still don't know where the lad is. But I hope he'll return soon so we can marvel at the fine work we've done into it with our village. And speaking of returning, could you come with me, Ishnai? There's something else I want to tell you. Some days ago, Glog suddenly vanished from the village. I rounded up a crew of miners and we set out to find him. His trail led us deep into the machine's base inside the crater, to the place where we encountered the strange white orb. And it was there we found Glog, lying face down and unmoving. We rushed to his aid, but before we could so much as roll over, he got up and proceeded to walk off in the direction of the village, as if we weren't there, as if nothing had happened. Since then, Gog's been back to his normal self, as far as anyone can tell at that rate. We've no idea what brought on those bursts of strange behavior. Perhaps the man had too much to drink. Perhaps it was something else. But whatever it was, we've decided to keep things quiet and leave well enough alone. You're one of the few privy to the situation, so I thought I would let you know how it ended. I also want to thank you again. You truly have the beard of gold, Ishnai, and we wouldn't have been able to rebuild our village without you. And the way I see it, this place is as much as your home as ours. Well, build a teleportation thing for me, please. So no matter where you go, you'll know you'll always have a tankard of ale waiting for you here. You obtain a message. Yep, Knog. Message from Knog 6. For as long as I can remember, it's always been just the two of us. Hardly anyone even bothered to be kind to us. But we always had each other. When I was with Knog, there was nothing to fear. What my sister wanted most was to get revenge on the world that had done this to us. I can't accept that world got her first. I won't. Your work in restoring Komora to its former glory may have finished, but the Chief's not quite done with you yet. Oh no. Lolly, I can't thank you enough. Oh, Karma is looking like his old self again, and better if we're honest. You can say that for yourself though, so let me tell you something you don't know. I heard that automaton of Dwarven make has been spotted around Umora of late. Signature frog motif and all. Now, where would these city folks have gotten their hands on artistry like that? We certainly haven't been peddling to outsiders, or you aside. I can think of one dwarf who might be, though. One with the right skills and little else to his name. If it is Canuck, well, I have a lot to say to him. I'm sorry, for starters. And it'd be nice to see how far we've come, the new Kamara. I'd like to think he'd be happy here. Anyway, seeing that you're the worldly sort, I doubt you'll have find much trouble picking up his trail in Yulmur. Tell me when you find, so you're making me go all the way the fuck over there, and then I have to fly all the way the fuck back, and then... Well, I do have some tombstones that need buying, but I don't know what exactly I'd buy them for. So I think I forgot. Leveled this up, but didn't. Yep. I hate it. Oh, I didn't get the feat for it yet. Well. We're gonna be teleporting to a few places! I also like the guillotine's shape, so I'm gonna probably keep it. Come on. Alright. Back and forth, back and forth. I teleport, back and forth, I teleport, back and forth. Boucher. I've got gold. I've got jewels. I've got gold-plated jewels. I don't think there's many people not interested in my wares. Pretty. I'll say, these are no longer really rich people. I did see a dwarf in black, though, yes. An odd little fellow. Came selling one of those gog contraptions. Not quite to my personal taste, but a rare find to be sure. He placed an order as well. Paid in advance. Say, if you're looking for the chap anyways, would you save me some time and take it to him? You are trusting me out of nowhere. But then again, people know me here at Yulmore. He mentioned he was sleeping down at the Derek's. An odd lad, as I said. I'm not sure how familiar you are with the place, but fortunately he drew a map to his preferred hovel. Good. That's not a map. That's a letter. Poignant that it's raining. I don't remember if it's raining actually in-game, in the sense of... Perfect timing. Just a little longer. Oh, wrong accent. Just wait a little longer. With the technology, the machine's technology, I can bring you back. I will. I'll make it work. I will. I will. I can't. Don't know what accent I'm going with that. I can't. I don't know what accent I'm going with on this one. I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. I can't. Sweetie! Look, I can't do this. I can't live in a world without you. I can't. Teasing delusions. You're such a crybaby. A knock? Did on and, well, it's nice to say I'm back. Thanks to your hard work and my innate genius, of course. I had nowhere to go. I'm all alone. That was before. You have me now. And don't you dare say we've got nowhere to go. There's a whole world waiting for us, Gnog. Did he kill himself? Or that's just one of those, you know, the guy who creates Nier not really answering any questions. Allied with Kronk Elemental. That's all the summons, I guess, for Summoner? I don't know. Gaia. Uh... Wait, these are all server realms. They're who chose which one? Who chose which side? When there's questions on choosing certain things. I get it now. Most people chose with Og. I bet the looks of it. Oh, I'm sorry, Knog. Your sister wins. Your sister keeps being 69. Horror, Dark Apocalypse. The end. So he never existed to begin with. Except for the hat. He never existed to begin with. You know, this music doesn't quite fit how you... this music feels off! Now flying all the way the fuck back there. And then, well, flying there. Lally, don't keep me in suspense. Did you find Knog? I found his workshop, but I don't know where he's gone. That's disappointing. Still, I appreciate you letting me know the same. What do you have there? Some sort of kind of fancy mead? Knog. But what's this for? Aside from the obvious, I mean. I think he'd appreciate if he passed it on to the woman who was injured. I will. I only wish it hadn't turned out like this. What happened at the village was bad enough. Then everyone was at the other's throats, and Canog and Og were gone. Don't even get me started on the Glag debacle. I keep turning it all over in my mind, and I see nothing but mistakes we made. And I wonder, how can any of us be sure that we won't make a mess of things again? You don't. Maybe we can't. Maybe we can just try to remember every single day how bloody wrong we probably are. And we learn to live with that. Maybe that's the only answer we get. Inner truth. Cool. Alright, got that done. I didn't mean to hit terrible to the affirmative defendment. Let me out, let me out, let me out. Go to the Forgotten Night. Alright, I'm switching to Dark Knight so I can switch my weapon in the glamour set. Oh, right. Have to repair the goddamn thing. I don't know, actually, now that I'm looking at it. Kind of looks cool. Kinda. Yeah. Anyways, back to Machinist. Yeah. Back to being a Machinist, woo! Oy. I'd like to say I know why I'm so tired. It's maybe because I did a 10-hour stream I was not expecting. Once more, you've proven your worth to the Machinists and the House Hollinair. As for Lord Asshat, I had my suspicions, but now it seems abundantly clear that he has been behind every mishap and misfortune to befall the manufactory. Despite his knavery, however, our success in the field will not have escaped the notice of the Holy See. Well, I already murdered the Holy See. As our reputation grows, so too does Asshat's ire. We had best be on our guard. Oh, did you hear? During a skirmish with the dragons, Ross developed a new technique. He was adamant that I pass it on the particulars to you. So he had to get hit in the head for this? Stefan's in the cheerful mood. Greetings, Ishnai. It is not a wonderful day to be a Machinist. Lord Stefan de Hellenair, you and the steel manufacturing employees are under your authority hereby charged with fomenting insurrection. Insurrection, my dear sir. I have fomented nothing of the sort. You stand accused of arming commoners with the weapons of war and discharging said weapons within the locality of the Broom. Well, it's a title that can be run by many other people. Ah, that little scene when they liberated Joy's father. Henceforth, the manufactory shall remain under the Temple Knight surveillance. Should you fail to review the obligations against you within the allotted time, punishment may include seizure of your workshop and imprisonment for all those deemed accomplices to the crime. Oh, you think you could imprison me? You're adorable. The fairy take that smirking fox. No, he's not a fox! He's not a fox! I disown him! Asshat knew we would attempt to rescue. Once they set their sights on the summit, the temple knights are like, once they set their sights on something, then the temple knights are like a bandersnatch with a bone. You best say goodbye to your workshop, because I've forgotten which accent to do, which is the Irish Scottish one. They will not take my manufactory. I will think of something. I mean, I could go talk to Emmerich, but you won't use that logical route. Or I could go talk to Lord, Fauchamps and see what he could do for his foster daughter. How could they twist me that rescue into an act of insurrection? Because they're bastards. That asshat bastard is always 2 steps ahead. It is difficult to prove the truth of something one has not done. Perhaps the wiser course would be to prove evidence of Asshat's wrongdoing. He is a clever bastard, though, that's one. You might try. Ah, but I best not overstep me bounds. The contract's almost done in any case, and I'll be moving on no matter what happens to the workshop. Our instructor sure doesn't like getting involved. As for me, I can see if I can find any strings connecting House Drasmal to their crimes. The Forgotten Knight should be a good place to start. Yeah, why not ask the Taru to help? I don't know what I'd do without the workshop. I'll see if I can get some folks talking. And that leaves you and me, Ishnai. You enjoy keep making lovely eyes at each other, not between you and me, even though you're hot. I believe I shall remain here in the manufactory to occupy the gaze of the Temple Knights, while you aid Ciarfox with his inquiries. Though I will not doubt. I will not say anything else. The Joy is hot also, but... Oh look, the Forgotten Knight, where I just fucking was. I appreciate you coming out, Ishnai. It's a bit hard planning out in the workshop with the Temple Knights eyeballing our every move. We should talk freely in here, though. Do you recall that bloke that was standing guard over Joy's dad? Aye. Fredox is his name. He took the marksmanship with a passion and hadn't missed a single day of training, not until today. I got suspicious, of course, and decided to visit a home. Right away, you could see the door had been kicked in, so I went inside and had me a proper look. That's when I found a ragged feather just lying on the floor amidst bits of broken furniture. If I wanted to keep my hands clean, then I ought to hire some thugs from out of town to do for poor Felixall. Thugs might otherwise make a living poaching wild chocobos. So I just talk to Lord Stiffen about taking a trip out to Tailfeather. I'll keep poking around here in the city and see what else crawls out to the stonework. Oi, oi. I don't know. Should I start calling him Dog's Balls? Easily snipped. This may be our best lead. If we can track down the man who employed Felixall, then we can have a solid link to the House Drosmal. Let us waste no more time. Onward to the Dervanian Forelands and to Tailfeather. Good news, Ishnai. I've spoken to some of the few hunter fellows, and they told me of a trio of ruffians that passed through here dragging a man that matches Felixall's description. We shall scour the forest to the south, if you will look to the north. Do not wait for us. Should you find these ruffians, then pray confront them ere Felixall comes to further harm. How did you find me? No witnesses. Cuts this one's throat as well. Did you really take him all the way out here just to kill him? Wretched lapdog. My thanks. I did not expect to see another dawn. Freto, Yox, Swa. No leaking blood, are you? Splendid. You gave us quite the scare. Forgive me, lord. Those men, they dragged me from my home. Said they'd hurt me if I didn't swear false witness to the Temple Knights. You were forced to submit their accusations? Then you merely need withdraw your testimony to strengthen our position. 'Twould be a boon if we were also to provide some matter of physical evidence. A seal of the House Drimswell would explain how the ruffians who snatched Felixall were able to enter the city without challenge. Aye, this shall do nicely. I am truly sorry, my lord. All it took was a little beating for me to repay your kindness with betrayal. I'll never darken your doorstep again. What nonsense. You hardly had a choice in the matter. Continue your training at the manufactory. However, you'll become more than a match for thugs such as these. Even without a noble's wealth or prestige, a common man can earn himself independence. Yes, see that the Machinist firearm is more than just shooting dragons. It can help set you free. His lordship's vision will change Ishgard for better. Come with us, Fredois. Become the shield, the spear and shield that our city needs. I like that. I like to feel like I'm worth something. Wouldn't we all? We all make mistakes, my dear fellow. The trick is to learn from them, and rise stronger than from every defeat. Come, let us return to the manufactory. Wrong thing, wrong thing. Let's go to the manufactory. I am making noises. The tables have turned, my friend. I have submitted the evidence you found to the Temple Knights. With the aid of Francois' new testimony, we have enough proof to lodge a counter-accusation against, what? Dog's balls? The wheels of justice have begun to turn, and we shall soon be free of these baseless suspicions. In the meantime, Ross has requested that I instruct you to remember your bleeding, practice drills, charming fellow. You hired him. Stefan is frustrated by the lack of movement of events by the wheels of justice. Ishnai, I trust that your trading fares well. I have heard not of the fate of the manufactory and would welcome fair news from any quarter. Bad news, me lordship. We talked to a clerk that works at the congregation and says the accusation against the workshop ain't been lifted yet. What's worse is they ain't inclined to pursue your case against Dole Expose neither. I do not understand. When I presented my evidence to the Temple Knights, the officer in charge seemed convinced of our innocence. My dear naive Stefan. Truth is dictated by the victor. One most skilled in strategy. One most adept in maneuvering. One such as me. How dare you show your face into my manufactory? Have you no shame at all? Shame? Why would you be the one who submitted a forgery of my house's seal in an attempt to deflect your obvious guilt? Upon review of the evidence, however, the Temple Knights shall soon rule in my favor. But our sources were impeachable. Our innocence was all but proven. A twisted, altered testimony of a commoner is hardly impeachable. And you cannot deny the claims that the ailing House Hardenay has been arming lowborns and inciting them to seize their independence. We all heard the shots fired within the city walls. You would twist and corrupt everything we've worked for. As I said, such is the privilege of the victor. If you wish, I might even be willing to teach you how to bend this situation to your advantage. We shall do well enough on our own. Now exit my manufactory ere you find your shining armor doused with machine oil. You would spurn my generous advice. Will you truly surrender your last chance to demonstrate House Hollinair's unswerving devotion to Ishgard's prosperity? There is a beast that's been harassing our supply train of late, a menace that the Holy See greatly desires to see put down. Even cloistered here amongst your scrap-covered benches, you must have heard the tales of the fearsome Verysilin. Verysilin? The same dragon that the Order of Knights Dragoon has failed to slay time again? I mean, good thing I'm not a part of that. It means to make a bloody show of ye, boss. The Holy See has agreed to abolish your trial in exchange for the dragon's death. Pray, send word when you're prepared to face Verysilin. I shall organize for a priest to be present to provide you with and provide you with suitable bait. Me lordship, what do we do? Ah, I'll just confess it was me that was firing my weapon. You shouldn't have to have any trouble laying the blame on a drunken outsider, especially one who's known for his vicious crimes. That'll get you off the insurrection charges, at least. No, you cannot do such a thing. I've lived half my life in a ship's cabin, and a prison cell ain't much smaller. You can pay me for the time in the brig after they let me out. They won't. They'll kill you. Stop hitting me, lordship. By the fairy, that man's full of surprises. My prospective media is not to say in this eventuality. I cannot allow our instructor to sacrifice himself for the manufactory. We have no choice but to accept Dog's Ball's impossible challenge. I think it's quite possible, but I fear Ross will not be convinced unless we have a chance to defeat Verisilin. I do have a Machinist marvel in mind that might just do the trick. Its implementation, however, will require a number of clear lightning crystals, like the ones found in the Sea of Clouds. It is said that the Vanu store such crystals for use for their tribal ceremonies. Pray, steal into Oke Vanu and lighten their baskets a touch. Surely they won't miss a handful or two. Sure. Cat. What you doing, kitty kitty? What you doing? You're looking innocent, but I feel like you've been doing something behind my back. Oh, you brought me your toy. That's what. Okay. 1 second. I'll do it for you. That doesn't mean you come back up here on the keyboard, though. Flying over here. Don't knock that over, cat. Yeah, we go back to... We go back. For a Machinist marvel I have in mind, I need to clear... Yeah, I know. I have it. The ethereal balance of this crystal is tipped completely to the element's lightning. Not a single trace of any other 5 elements can be detected. The Vanu keep crystals such as these under lock and key. bringing them forth only for tribal ceremonies. Ah, yes. These are wonderful specimens. These crystals shall allow me to broaden the capabilities of your ethereal transformer via a more efficient process of energy conversion. I only hope it'll be impressive enough to convince our instructor to abandon his foolish course. I can drill things now. Word on the situation with Ross. One of our machinists has just returned to report the situation with Ross and all. It would seem that Joy and some fellow colleagues have caught up to him in the pillars. Pray, make your way to the scene and persuade the instructor to stand down. Okay, I'll shoot him in the knees. He won't be standing anymore. Ishnai, you've got to stop him! Should have known you'd be along. Now back off before I teach the stone the menial point to blink. I'm talking to you as well, Joy. Step aside. Oh, bloody well, don't step aside. Ishnai, take the fight out of him with a slug shot if you please. So that's gonna be how it's gonna be, eh? Come on then, we'll see who shoots first. Oops. Bloody hills, that was fast. Your students have ever strived to impress you, Ross. 'Tis thanks to Ishnai's diligence that I was able to once more improve the tools of our trade. Even Versilin cannot stand up against the advances that we have made in both technique and technology. You must have the faith that our machinists will prevail. Though I appreciate your eagerness to occupy a cell on my behalf, such a sacrifice will not halt Dogball's crusade against the manufactory. Aye, you may be right about that. He is right about more than just that. You've got to stop underestimating what we're capable of. I keep forgetting what a stubborn old lot I'm dealing with. And you're the ones who challenge the very stones what Ishgard was built on. Alright, I won't give myself up. On one condition. All the talks and contracts aside, you let me help this fight against Versilin Nightmare. You've always sought to avoid such entanglements before. What has changed? It's a matter of penance. Back when I was still in charge at the Curtis, I lied to my subordinates instead of serving the theocracy. I and the lads working with me to further my own agenda, came apart though, and when I sent a glut of them to die off in battle they had no business being in. I had my eyes on the Admiral's chair, see? But what kind of admiral would do that? It was reckless and selfish and got a lot of good people killed. After they stripped me on a drink, I drowned myself in drink and took up the life of the worst kind of pirate. That soldier I tried to visit in Camp Overlook was one of me lads who survived. I've been sending them every coin I can spare to pay back me bloody debt, but there ain't enough guilt in the world that could buy off me guilt. And now, years later, I see the chance to undo the wrong I've done. A bunch of me students plan to charge into a situation they got no business being in, and I plan to see them come out of it alive. Oh, we don't need you. We'll come out of it alive without you. Well then, consider yourself invited to the battle. Come, lead us in a pre-battle drill, Ross. Well, I also have a drill. Once more, your skills at fire alarms, yes, fire alarms, woo! Firearms has rescued the manufactory from peril. Let us head back there, and shall we? My voice is already going. Grab another cough drop. Back to the manufactory. Ah, Ishnai, there you are. I have sent word of our decision to dog balls. Even with the instructor's added firepower, however, I fear this challenge will test our very limits. Ross has vowed to stay with us, regardless of the term of his contract, until the sins of his past have been washed away in Versilden's blood. I mean, that seems like a very arbitrary choice that has to be the only way that you... But anyways. They just then take advantage of every moment we have until now, from now until the battle, to hone our skills to Razor's Edge. A day has been chosen for our trial against Versilin. More than any that has come before, this battle shall be pivotal in deciding the future of the manufactory and Machinist both. Thus we march forth to meet our fate. I will hold a celebration in honor of all that we have accomplished. As it has become customary, however, the principal players are nowhere to be found. Pray! Head out into the city, seek out Joy, Ross, and Célissois, and my father. Rise of the Machinists! Not Rise of the Machines. Don't get those confused. I'll hit that right now, but before you do, Ishnai, I wanted to thank you again for helping me find my way. I just got myself back to where I belong, and I ain't gonna give up the workshop a second time. On a side note, this kind of was a problem with Genshin, and I know that's just me being talking here. We know other powerful people within the city. And why the fuck are we going and turning and looking at them and saying, can you help us with this situation? It's kind of like I'm sitting there saying, like the whole dancer lady quest in Genshin. I'm quite sure if Nahida was told or informed of what was happening, she might say something on the other hand, and being that she is the god of wisdom, they might listen better than somebody who, the debate, they didn't even follow real debating rules, but it's just, What, another bleated celebration? Well, I guess we never get to have the first one. Ishnai, I know the first I met you be a demon with a carbine, and bugger me if I ain't right. Now look at us, ready to stand side by side against one of the biggest bloody dragons that ever raid a supply chain. I'll get this through. Get everyone through this, though. Don't you worry. Not worried. Not worried at all. Everybody seems to be more worried than I am. I mean, that's par for the course. Because I am main protagonist. Célissois. A feast, is it? I can already feel me belly rumbling. As always, the chief works to make the manufactory a place where commoners like me feel welcome. He's done his best for us, and I mean to do the best for him. Even if it means fighting a monster of a dragon. I've been invited to the manufactory? Well, how have times changed. Though I appreciate the gesture, I do not have a place at that table. I vowed to leave the sky still matters to Stefan alone, and so I shall. Tell my son that I pray for his victory and the prosperous future that will grow from his success. Probably, if I remember, the last thing I'm gonna do tonight is get the flying areas, unlock flying in Ellipse. Been a good while since I shared a drink with mates. Reminds me of old times and mistakes I don't mean to repeat. Ishnai, you should have a nibble. It's all delicious. I might gobble that lot myself. The lordsmith says the feast is courtesy of the count. I ain't eaten it like this since, well, ever, to be honest. This is the last meal, then I'll die a happy man. Thank you for summoning everyone to the feast, and thank you for Father's message. Eat, drink, and be merry, my friends. Soon we shall introduce Selin to the rage of the Machinists, for the manufactory, and for Ishgard. For Ishgard! Aye. See how their eyes shine with determination? You are the perfect choice to act as my ambassador. Ever has your presence been a boon to the manufactory? I often wondered what would have become of us had you not chosen to walk the path of the Machinists. Well, I didn't, kind of, by story timeline sense. Through our next battle, because I'm coming back to this, you'll indeed be perilous. It shall also serve to demonstrate the pinnacle of our achievements. When Selin lies defeated in the snow, you'll have accomplished a deed that dog balls and the Holy See believed nigh impossible. Were you ready to make history? Join us at the site of the trial in Corthus Western Highlands. Actually, it might be better if I teleport here and go over. Fly over from there. What am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. Never know what I'm doing. By the way, did I actually finish the... That's hilarious looking. Where am I going? I'm not looking at the map! I'm going everywhere and nowhere at the same time. God, that sounds so familiar. Lord Dogballs, my Machinists are assembled. We now but await the arrival of the dreaded Selin. Excellent! I am accompanied by a priest of the Holy See, who shall ensure the trial proceeds in accordance with the Guardian law. The wagon has also been provided to tempt the talons of your quarry. The Observatum have been tracking the creature's movements. According to their calculation, Selin and his entourage should fly over this pass within the hour. Should the Machinists of the Skysteel Manufactory satisfy the conditions of the trial by combat, either through victory or valorous death, then your innocence be proven and your honor redeemed. Should you choose to flee, however, I trust I need not elaborate further. I mean, I already murdered Halone, so I mean... We shall oversee the proceedings from on high, that I might judge thine actions evenly and with uninterrupted view. May justice be served. Your Reverence, pray do not avert your eyes should the scene become one of bloody carnage. We do not wish to deny these fine combatants a fair trial. My strategy for this battle is thus. Hit the beast with everything we have. Oh, so what I normally do. Deploy every turret, shoot every bullet. We shall bury Selin under a hail of metal and fire. You know, I defeated bigger than that. Bloody hills, it's massive, so that thing is difficult to kill. It's tiny, I don't know what you're talking about. As manufacturer chief, I have but one order for you all. Survive this battle. It's tiny! Also, bitches deserve this. Machinist, protect the fallen! Oh, shame. Why do this? Why protect me? Should you but allow the dragons to do their bloody work, you'll be free to pursue your agenda. Sorry, we aren't like you. Bitch. Aye, and if you could argue you have earned it, after the grief you have caused, I shall take what is left of your corpse and string it up for target practice. But if my Machinists are to truly be spear and shield of Ishgard, we must defend all of our citizens with equal zeal. I fear that excessive associations with commoners has softened your brain. The oath you have sworn, however, is indeed a knightly one. If you're done yapping, Lord Dog Balls, we're a bit bloody busy here. Rag that tumble again, and it'll be the first thing I put the bullet through. You best heed her warning, old fella. Joy is not one to give voice to idle threats. Until this day, I have but observed your battles from afar. What a perfect opportunity to evaluate your skills from a more intimate perspective. You know, she said she was going to shoot you. By the Fury, is he still speaking? Leave him, Joy. We have more pressing matters to attend to. Let us shoot a path through the foe's raid lied before us. Drilling. The bad dragon. I'm drilling the bad dragon. Nobody ask. Ba 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 ba. We've done it! The damnable beast is dead. Oh, you got your sword back now? I thank you for saving my life. The accusations against you shall, of course, be withdrawn. As a further token of my gratitude, I would offer you a boon. Speak your wish, and I shall do all within my power to grant it. A boon? You little favor? You think one little favor will wipe the leisure clean of your steaming shite? Fortunately, my heart has but one desire. I will have your oath that henceforth you will no longer oppose the rise of the Machinists, and never again seek to interfere with the operation of the Sky Steel manufactory. Is that all? No chests of coin, no promises of power. The workings of your mind are truly an enigma to me. But you shall have my word of this, nonetheless. Indeed, we shall discover the best means by which your fine Machinists might contribute to Ishgard's defenses. 'Tis only from behind a sturdy front line that a Machinist's full potential is realized. Together with your knights, however, we will change the face of war. Of course! You cannot do without the masters of the battlefield. May we strike the fear into the hearts of our enemy, and ensure the continued prosperity of the Holy See. Fare you well, Lord Stefan. Well, that's that then. Alright, well that's it then. Thank you for letting me join you on this one, boss. I think I'm ready to move on now. Joy's not letting you. I'm not letting you. Joy, your eye is as sharp as your harpy tongue. Good work, lass. I nominate you to take over as master of Marker's ship. Ishnai, you're too bleeding quiet? I mean, if you could hear me on the other side of this mic. But your weapon speaks loud enough, I suppose. Keep firing like that, like you did, and I reckon new students will flock to the workshop to follow in your footsteps. Are you truly leaving us? Yeah, walk off into the sunset, why don't you? I ain't never been the kind of bloke that sticks to one place for too long. You've treated me well at the workshop. Better than I deserve, I reckon. But it's time I weighed anchor. I'll be seeing you then. Should your travels bring you back to Ishgard, know you always have a place at the manufactory, my friend. She'll be on her way as well. Well, I also have a foster dad that, like, I have a place at, too. Alright. Back to Foundation. Yep. What am I doing? Trying to remember whether I need to go to Cap Bronze Lake or whatever for the scholar stuff. When an extraordinary turn of events. With these troubles behind us, however, I feel the age of Machinist has finally arrived. And you, Ishnai, have all but outgrown the manufactory. With Roz's departure, there's none who may compete with your skill at firearms. Pray take the lessons you have learned and make known the Machinist's trade in every corner of Eorzea. You are, of course, welcome to return to us whenever you desire. We shall be here, ever serving Ishgard as her deadliest spear and sturdiest shield. Ah, before I forget, Ross asked me that I encourage you to push the limits of your marksmanship. I believe his exact words were, That ye can blast through any pile of shite that might be stand in your way. I'm getting better at the accent, don't you think? I mean, I guess. Ooh, rah. Yeah, we're not doing more than that. Or do we get... I'm a Machinist, not a man. Yeah, there's no ability. Right now. Alright. Teleporting to Bronze Lake, I think. Or is it... Or I already did this. I don't remember. I am... Nope. It's over here. Lock, the lock. Here's the porter setting out somewhere. If it isn't Ishnai, in the flesh. It has been quite some time, hasn't it? Rashak keeps me apprised of any tales of your heroism that reaches her ears, and I must say, they never fail to inspire me to the reach of the greater martial and tactical heights. I have thus been seizing upon every opportunity to hone my skills. It would be through employment or study. In fact, I have an appointment with Sarito Carito shortly to review mariner stratagems for securing thoroughfares and byways. Would you care to join me? Excellent! It will be a pleasure to train alongside you again. I shall meet you at Camp Bronze Lake. Sarito Carito awaits us there. You know, I was just there and thought that's where you were gonna be, but, we're going back there. This is just like old times, isn't it? I guess. My, what a pleasant surprise! I was unaware that you would be joining us today. I was not aware I was joining us today either. Heavens, is that Ishnai I spy? Satoto, a pleasure to see you. Have you come here for the exercises as well? Of course. It may have been well over a millennia ago that I began my studies, but I am still a student with much to learn. Though I am somewhat hampered by the small matter of my inability to summon a fairy while trapped in this grotesque form. You're hardly grotesque, my lady. Fuck already! I mean, I am confident that there's some way you might once again call forth a fairy. We need only find a way to tap the royal marine spirit within you. Come hells or high water. Let's hope that you are right. Just fuck already. Not to doubt that he is. But first, given how rare this opportunity is, might I suggest we begin by asking Ishnai to regale us with tales of her recent endeavors. There's much we might learn from them. Limit scrutiny. Limit, she, and then got... I'm so proud of them. Limit strives to save her sister, no matter what it costs her. It reminds me of my father. I can scarcely believe you traveled to another world entirely. Were it anyone else, I would doubt the veracity of their words, but I can only envy you. You must have gained much insight in the nature of our own star. The concept of stone blight fascinates me. Highly contagious and transforms the body. I cannot but draw parallels between it and the Nymphenian plague. What were you able to discern about the magic utilized in curing it? Perhaps the application of a highly concentration of ether. But how? Might crystals serve to amplify? Assuming so. It may work. Similarities of Stoneblight to our own affliction. This may well be the key to a cure for the Nymphenian plague. You mean to say that my body and my ability to cast healing magic could be restored? Precisely. It would be a complex process involving trial and error, of course, but I assume you'll be interested in it nonetheless. Very good. Your assistance will hasten the process considerably. Setoto and would have your aid in preparing the experimental compound. We will require instruments that allow for a high degree of precision. Alika Zolak... you must consult an expert goldsmith to procure suitable supplies. I believe we might make use of a revival root as well, though I know of no better source of it than the aged tree and the snake malt. It would be something of a walk, I realize, but I can entrust this task to you. Of course, I can teleport there. A challenge befitting the Royal Marines, and we shall rise to it! Oorah. I've been forgetting to say oorah after, getting stuff. Bad me. Though concentration needs excess anything we have previously... Ishnai. Yes, upon reflection, I'm quite certain I'll require that route. The larger the cutting, the better. This is the closest thing to hope I've felt in a very long time. I didn't mean to click you again. Strange noises were heard. Nothing's changed. Surveying, looking. I need to figure out how to play this. As a level 80. So mostly when I was doing it, I was stuck in, or even a level 70 or whatever. I mostly was stuck inside, the Crystal Tower. And I didn't quite trust myself to do other people. I mean, outside of Alliance, since I had a second healer and I had healers on other alliances that I could feel safely could, you know, res me if I fucked up. So I'll probably need to run some trusts. Get a feel for it. That's an off-stream thing. This is the closest thing. Okay. Same thing. Are you able to cure the root? Never potent healing properties. Thank you. I expect this will be sufficiently potent. Now we only need to await Alec Zolok's return. Apologies, I've only just escaped. I am acquainted with a goldsmith of some repute. He said to agree to fashion the instruments in return for my massaging him with salamander oil again. Manderville. However, the goods themselves will be more than adequate. But Manderville has a thing for Lollifells massaging it? Was that it? They're a bit oily, but it's presumed that it will come off. In which case, we can prepare the compound at any time. However, the matter of which follows is problematic. Problematic? In what sense? Though I'm fairly confident in my theory, the experimental compound is just that, the experimental. I did state before that this process will involve trial and error. As the Numian plague does not affect beasts, to test it on anything but a tonberry is impossible. Yet, as its ingestion will result in a disruption to the body's ethereal balance, there's a possibility the subject may find himself worse off than before. I have no intentions of inflicting such a fate on any of my brethren, naturally. So, should I be warped beyond recognition as a result, the task of destroying me will fall to you. You can't honestly believe we would agree to that. I agree to it. It's joking. What if you were to test it on me instead? Absolutely not. You heard what he said. The test subject may very well become a monster. I'm prepared to take the risk. Well, I'm not prepared to let you. So you'd rather Cerrito Carrito do it? If the test does fail and he becomes some sort of abomination, who will remain to continue researching the cure? It follows that I ought to be the test subject. And I'm supposed to accept that? Yes, you are. It's not your choice to make. And you're the best bear around? Yes. Please calm yourself. A mixture will take some time to prepare. In any case, we can discuss this later when we all have the opportunity to think. Fine, I'll do my thinking elsewhere, if it's all the same to you. I hoped everyone would be amenable, but I suppose life is rarely simple. I don't understand. I'm merely trying to prevent her from placing herself in harm's way. I believe you two will be well served by a reprieve. Perhaps a bit of exercise. I don't wanna. I'm a nerd. I don't do exercise. If you insist. This would be a fair sight easier if they were honest with one another. I know, right? As you're doubtless aware, Saseto is quite enamored with Alec Zolok. She seems disinclined to pursue the matter, however, her condition being what it is. Though she's raised the salient point, I would not have her volunteer if her primary goal is to remove the perceived obstacle, were Alex Zolok to be forced to slay her, only to learn later what it was all for. It doesn't bear thinking about. Might you go and speak with her? I expect she's fuming somewhere in outer La Nocia. She has a tendency to wander when she's distressed. If you're to coax Setsuto's honest feelings from her, I will be in a better position to decide whether this is truly something I can ask the both of them. I didn't need anything from that general area. Yeah, no. Making my way. Lovely castle, isn't it? All that's left of your home, really. And where you were imprisoned. I apologize for my earlier conduct. I have no intention of changing my mind, though. My logic is sound. It is, but are the reasons you gave truly what you volunteered? They are they? I see. So it's come to this. Yes, I am in love with Alex Zalok. And maybe were things different, I could be content with that. If we might walk hand in hand without drawing the attention of ever would-be heroes within 10 miles. If my compatriots were just as free to pursue their own happiness. As it is, however, his insistence on protecting me above all else, it chafes. I am no fool. I know that others, Alzalak included, are stronger than I. And I am not so proud as to refuse aid on principle. But it's not enough to merely live, insulated from harm. I've always wanted to help people. Now more than ever, knowing firsthand the terrible toll the blight takes on all of us. It's not as simple of my own desires that make me so adamant. Truthfully, there is no more suitable subject on whom the cure can be tested. I had not yet seen 20 summers when I was afflicted, so if the unanticipated effects, my body would be best to bear them. Moreover, I was one of the last of them to fall to the plague before we entered our lengthy slumber, meaning my illness is less advanced. If the potential cure shows results, they will present in me most quickly. To say the thought that it could fail does not frighten me would be a lie. Yet, if there is a means by which I might save my people from suffering, I cannot ignore it. You followed the path of the scholar. You understand, don't you? Yes, I think I know the feeling. Thank you. Talking through this with you has helped clear my head, I believe. I'm ready to speak with the others. There! I finished running through the Serpent Toga's 10,000-step training regiment. Damn, you did it pretty fast, if the fact that I came back and forth and it was... Ah, you have returned. How are you feeling? More confident than ever. You must test the cure on me. Alec, please. I'm not making the decision in haste, nor do I take it lightly. Truth be told, I'm terrified. But I need to do this. Ishnai agreed. It must be me. Yes, I must admit your reasoning is sound. I appreciate you worry for me, Alec. And it means more than you know. But this is my duty, my battle to fight. You can trust me to meet this foe with all I have. I vow not to quit the field until the bitter end. But if the time comes when I am no longer myself, I need to know that my fate is in good hands. In your hands. As you wish. I will be at your side as any true mariner would. But know that I fully expect you to seize victory, come hell's or high water. I will. Thank you, Alak. Very well. If the two of you are resolved, I will abide by Saseto's decision. But before we begin, I must explain how the process is meant to work. First, Saseto will drink the compound I devised. This should destabilize the ethereal composition of her body. Once she has done so, Alex Zaluk, you must stand at the ready for this. With this, a gemstone retrieved from Amanpur. It should serve as a focus. Ishnai and Lily will channel their restorative magics through the focus, amplifying it. In theory, it being exposed to a sufficient volume of curative aether will encourage Saseto's own aether to attune to it and get it set itself right. Well, I mean, don't we have a friend who is a part of the Scholars of Baelson that might be able to help? All right, my Lily. If all are clear at what must be done, let us commence. It burns! It burns! What a whirl! What a whirl! What a whirl! Sorry. That was my adding. Ishnai, Lily, now! Fight it, Saseto! I mean, you lost your hat. You truly are truly radiant, Saseto, inside and out. Aww. You're adorable together. I was really certain it would work, but to see the results is another matter entirely. I can scarcely believe my eyes. I can feel the breeze on my skin. Oh, it's wonderful! To think after all this time, the endless research, we have a cure for the Nemean plague. That Sarito Karito even managed to devise such a thing is remarkable enough. But to see it succeed, without Ishnai's skill as a scholar, it never would have been possible. And Saseto, your kindness, your conviction, your strength of spirit, it inspires me to train with even greater fervor. Nerd. That is so like him. I know, right? He's still utterly oblivious to my feelings, I'm sure. It's alright, though. I never truly expected to have another chance at life that I once envisioned for myself. Now that I do, I intend to enjoy it. There's no need to rush through all the best parts. That goes for my vocation as well. I intend to relearn the scholarly arts, starting from the basics. And with my etheric balance restored, I should be able to summon Lilac properly. Someday we will be the salvation of those in need, I swear it. For the moment, however, I have much training to do if I am fit for the Royal Marines. To that end, I'm off to find Alec. Ka. Okay. Alec, okay. I'm saying the name wrong. I know. Having labored for so long, so fruitlessly, and to see the cure realized at last, I find myself at a loss for words. I don't know, you just said a good sentence. I need to monitor Saseto's condition for a time, of course, lest there be any adverse effects that were not readily apparent. But this is progress, astounding progress, towards the day that we might see all Tonberries restored to their former selves. In the meantime, inexperienced in the matters of the heart though they are, you needn't worry over much for those two. I have confidence they'll sort themselves out in due time. Fare you well in whatever worlds your travels lead you to, and thank you. Hmm. My voice is starting to go. So let's do this dancer one. And we'll probably end it for tonight. Okay. I teleported too quickly for this, apparently. Our home at Razathan also lies by the sea, but I must say I find the ocean breeze here singularly refreshing. Oh wait, I was also gonna get the teleportation for lips. Nah, it's fine for right now. Now, Shmira. Well, if it's in my star pupil, you couldn't have come at a better time. A messenger just arrived. It would appear that Master Guegwe has received a response from his friends at the Sultanate. As for the details, he would deliver them to us in person. Why don't you go on ahead to his villa? I'll fetch Rana and be along shortly. Well, well, if it isn't my second favorite dancer. Good news, my girl. Thanks to the highest recommendation of yours truly, my friends at the Syndicate would be more than happy to host one of your performances in Uda. You have our deepest gratitude, Master Guegwe. Truly, your generosity knows no bounds. God, think nothing of it. Your performance gave me a thrill I'll not soon forget. And while I'd love nothing more than to keep you all to my own, I would be remiss if I don't share my most remarkable discovery with the rest of the realm. That goes for you in particular, my lovely Rana. You may be a bit rough around the edges, but that adds to your untamed, I dare say, feral allure. I feel creeped out by the fact you're saying that because she is a cat girl. Nothing would make me happier than to go down in history as the man who introduced your beauty to Eorzea. Why, Mr. Guegwe, You're making me blush. Gah, thou'll take me. I simply cannot bear the thought you've performed on my stage for one last time. You'll grace me with one final farewell performance, won't you? Surely after all is done for you. Our apologies, Master Guigui, but we cannot keep our audience in the Sultanate waiting. After all, this is but the second stop on our journey, a journey you must see through to the end. And besides, while your words do Rana and us all great honor, I would remind you that the girl is still an apprentice. Excess praise can lead to overconfidence, and overconfidence to carelessness, and carelessness to an untimely fall. Did you hear me, Rana? No matter what glowing words your admirers may hear upon you, remember that your journey as a dancer has only just begun. Keep your feet firmly planted on the ground, lest you stumble on the road to achieving your full potential. But of course! And yet, it's truly inspiring to have such a devoted fan, is it not? Why, it helps me appreciate just how much I've blossomed as a dancer in such a short time. I do not make light of your achievements. I only ask that you stay focused on the task at hand. Continue to hone your craft, and not let yourself get swept away by unchecked emotion. And with that, we should be taking our leave. Master Guigui, we thank you for your patronage and hospitality. When our business in Eorzea is done, we will return to express our gratitude. You need not feel compelled to travel with the troop, Ishnai. I trust that you have matters of your own that you'll attend along the way. We shall await you, Noodle. He's mad. He has his arms crossed. Look at all these people! I wonder how many new fans I'll make here. 1,000? 1,000? I could hardly wait. The streets are a bit dusty, but the ornate architecture of the residence is something to behold. Clearly the aesthetic taste of the Udalians tend towards the lavish. No doubt Nash Mira has already taken into consideration in planning our next performance. So this is Oldal, jewel of the desert, but we're not here to see the sights. No, we must decide upon a suitable venue for our next performance. As a matter of fact, I already have an idea. I was thinking we may put on a show in the Stone's Throw, a settlement outside the city said to be home of the poor and downtrodden. Are you sure of this, Mistress Nashmira? I agree that the art should be enjoyed by the lowborn as well as the high, but is some glorified shantytown truly the best place for us to find an audience here? And I would have it no other way. Now listen to me, Ishnai, and listen carefully. You recall I told you that our Kregistan has the unique power to clear the hearts and minds of worries, and lift the spirits of all who behold it. Put it another way, bringing joy and succor to the scorn and suffering is no less than our calling in life. In Limsa as well, our audience included many who were down on their luck, and yet it did not seem those troubles weighed so heavily on their hearts. Mayhap this is a remnant of their pirate heritage, a flagon of ale in hand and a song on the lips, and all their cares fade away. Udal is different. Here I feel the scars of calamity run deeper, particularly among those who lack the coin needed to rebuild their lives to their satisfaction. Stone's Throw it will be. I can think of no place more in need of what we offer. You there! Halt! Halt, I say! You're the dancing troupe that's come by the invocation of the syndicate, yes? On the authority of Brass Blades, we command you to cease at once. you not. You've not done not wrong. It's just, well, Stone's Throw's not safe for visitors these days, you see. A group of real rabble-rousers have been causing trouble of late. You know how it is. Protests, riots, all sorts of unpleasant business. You mean it's only unpleasant because you're the one that's getting involved, like, it's upsetting your day versus, you know, them trying to get for better rights and stuff? Of course, their anger is targeted directly at Ura's upper crust. Like, as not, they'd leave a troupe of performers. Still, the Syndicate cannot accept the risks of its honored guests suffering an untimely injury or worse. We appreciate your concern, but I can assure you that it is wholly unnecessary. All members of my troupe are well trained in the art of self-defense. We are more than capable of taking care of ourselves. That's right. Besides, healing suffering and strife across the realm is precisely the reason why you're here. Whatever sorts of struggle your people face, why not let us look into the matter and see if we can't resolve it? It's a gracious offer, but no, keeping the peace is our sworn duty, one we cannot simply impose on guests. Besides, we are trained soldiers, and you are not. For your own safety, you should leave this place at once. I'm more than just a dancer, you know. An adventurer, and one who knows her way around Udall, you say? Perhaps you're fit to investigate the matter at all. Very well, then. You and your friends may carry on. Just promise you won't go looking for trouble, eh? I don't think you're in the seniority position to be able to tell me this, but okay. Also, I love that I am green screened on the back of that location for when I did the response thing. Tell me it didn't look like a green screen when I was saying I'm not just a dancer. Mistress Nahmira, leave this to me. I'll dance up a storm for these poor folks to calm their hearts and put an end to any riots and uprisings. I admire your spirit, Rana, yet I cannot shake the sense that the great danger does indeed lurk here. You may go, but only if Ishnai accompanies you. And you must promise you will not leave her side. Alright, the more the merrier, don't you agree, Ishnai? Let us make for Stone's Throw. I'll race you there. I thought you weren't going to leave my side. Master! Master! Teacher! Teacher! I'm gonna teacher's pet! Rana has come far since joining our troupe, but she's still a child with much growing up to do. I realize she's your senior as a dancer, but I ask you this. Pray, keep an eye on her and see that she stays out of trouble. I admire the girl's spirit, but I do wish she'd think things through a bit before she acts. Good fucking luck. Oh, there you are. Let's get started, shall we? Our first task is to figure out just who's behind these riots. Why don't we split up and ask around and see what turns up? No! Don't tell me you're worried about that silly promise I made the Mistress Nashmira. Come now, Ishnai. Clearly she worries overmuch. You saw me on the stage. Do I look like someone who can't take care of herself? Yes! Let's see what the townspeople can tell us. Meet you back here when you're both done, alright? You aren't from this land. But okay. Beleaguered beggar. Riots? There's been some trouble over here of late. Won't catch me dead giving myself involved. Whoever's behind it all, wish he'd just bugger off and give us peace and quiet for once. Of course, that doesn't stop those bass braids from glaring at me askance every time they come through the neighborhood. Not that I can blame them. I suppose. Rumor has it the true culprit's an expert in throwing authority is off his trail. You looking for some rabble-rouser rider, you say? I might know a thing or two. What's it to ye? None of us here in Stone's Throw have much love for the rich, and that much is true. Still, it wasn't till lately when someone started talking about it actually gave them their due. Though they were just talking big, but lately it seems they've been putting their plot to action. And we wait, and she doesn't show up, and we have to fucking rescue her. Hey, you there. You're friends with that Mikote girl? The one with the fancy dress? She was asking around about the riots, you know. Well, would you believe I actually saw her just talking with the black guards responsible for it all? Last thing I saw, he was leading away somewhere. I'd go after her if I were you. Well, I wouldn't. I never had the nerve for that sort of thing, but I reckon you should, before the poor thing comes to harm. Who'd have thunk? End up hitting everything else that's around. I wish that you really saved my skin. This man told me he'd take me to the Note Rider's hideout. He let me here, and then, well, to be honest, I'm still not sure entirely what I witnessed. The strangest thing, as soon as he brought me here, his body began to sway and spin in the strangest ways. If I don't know any better, I'd say he was dancing. But we can talk about that when we're safer in Varn. I should probably summon the Blast Blades and file an official report. Meanwhile, could you return to the city and let Mistress Nashmira know I'm alright? And tell her I'm sorry for breaking my word. Well, it wasn't just your word, it was my word as well, because I told her yes. The Brass Blade should be here any minute now. Could you go and return to the city and tell Mistress Nashmira I'm alright? Tell her I'm sorry for breaking my word. No, my voice is going. My voice is going. I was wrong. I don't know anything. Ah, there you are, Ishnai, but where's Rana? I see. I had a feeling this would happen. Do not blame yourself, Ishnai. You are not her keeper. I will deal with the girl myself when she returns. That said, I am curious. What can you tell me of the strange dance she said says her would-be captors were performing? I don't know, I wasn't there. Good news, friends! Thanks to your efforts, we have apprehended the firebrand. Peace should return to the Stone's Throw for now, at least until the next rabble rouser decides to fan the flames. Still, there's one part of the story that does not sit well with me. The girl here claims she saw her captors dancing, but those who took in custody swear to the last man that they remember no such thing. They deny that they were dancing, but why ever would they feel the need to lie about something so innocuous when they've already convicted of a far heinous crime? It's not precisely a lie. You see, here the tale gets even stranger. They claim to have a vague recollection of their bodies moving, but insist they had absolutely no intention of doing so. They went on to say they couldn't even remember where or why they came up with the idea to write in the first place. On the contrary, they seemed almost relieved, just as some evil spirit has been banished from them. Sounds like our friends have been partaking in a particularly unstable and unsavory alchemical concoction. At any rate, the Brassblades will be taking over the investigation from here. Thank you for your assistance, and please carry on with the preparations for your performance with our blessing. I'm sorry, Mistress Nashmira. I should have stayed with Ishnai like you said. Together, I'm sure we would have worked things out peacefully. In the end, I was not able to dance even a single step. Just as the Kregazan can enthrall and inspire, it can serve us in battle. A true dancer must be prepared for both possibilities at all times. Ishnai was able to display your skills as a dancer in battle today, and I suspect it was for that very reason your would-be captures. Never mind that. There's something more happening. Rana, you disappoint me. It's not a lack of dancing prowess that led you to your failure today. No, it was the overconfidence that led you to stray from your partner's side. With the true fatalism dances, we dance as one. We dance to stir hearts and lift spirits, not to merely show off our skills, that our admirers might shower us with empty praise. I thought you understood this, but it's clear you still have much to learn. I am sorry, Mistress Nashmira. I promise I will not repeat my mistake. And proceeds to walk off, not as one. Forgive me for making you suffer the girl's foolishness, Ishnai. Though she has grown in skill, it is clear she is just a child in more ways than one. I can only hope that she will take today's lesson to heart, lest she eventually pay the price. You ask much of the girl. Being a true dancer is more than knowing how to move one's feet. It must be tougher on Rana more than anyone, lest the true fatalism fail to carry out its sworn duty. I can see you're confused by my words. Do not worry. All will become evident in due time. How about right now? How about now be the due time? Yes, both in Rana will understand all too well. And with that, I must prepare for our forthcoming performance. This time, I'll be asking Rana to take the stage alone. She may consider it her opportunity to reflect upon her actions today. God's willing, learn to grow from her missteps. Meanwhile, perhaps it would be best if you too return to your training. If you and Rana are truly meant to bring out the best in one another, both of you need to work harder than ever before. Farewell for now, and let us meet up again when it's time to move on. And now I do believe it's time that I did some investigating of my own. Yeah, my voice is going, if you couldn't tell, by the raspy. Blah, blah, blah. So let me find somebody to raid. Alright, y'all. This was just like Ciarfox. I hope you have a good day or night, whenever it is, wherever it is you currently are. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like, subscribe, and comment. Go ahead and take a breath. Sore throat.